I'm Millie, and this is my short film entitled Mugler Number One. The film features both Ivana and Ivanka Trump within Thierry Mugler's fashion shows throughout the late 80s and early 90s. Thierry Mugler is a French avant-garde designer who has always been pushing the boundaries of fashion and art. He's one of the last couturiers left, and he actually quit the fashion industry because of how all of fashion has become just strictly limited to looking basically as plain as possible, not being able to exert femininity and sex appeal. So he was one of the last designers. He featured many transgender models, homeless people, you name it. It wasn't just regular models. He would use personalities like Ivana and Ivanka Trump. In the film here, Ivanka is only about 15 years old, and Ivana had already had 3 children at that point. But as you can see in the film, they just represent ultimate feminine vigor, and the whole video is just to show that everyone says that Trump doesn't respect women, but for me right now, the most empowered women I see in the spotlight are the Trump women, and this video is just showing that completely. I campaigned for Trump earlier this year. I dropped out of Parsons, which is an art school in Manhattan, to do so, and I've never felt more accepted as a woman as I have by Republicans and conservatives. I've been completely rejected from the fashion and art industries because I'm not a tall, blonde hair, blue-eyed girl. That's basically, or I'm not doing sexual favors for anyone. And this is the first time I've gotten the opportunity to be heard for my actual opinions and not just for something completely meaningless. And I'm so happy that I actually can show something with my art here that's not just bullshit. So Bakara is a chainwear line that's meant to liberate sexually repressed Muslim women, and well, just not Muslim, but Middle Eastern women. It's a very taboo thing to talk about, and recently it's everyone is oh no, they like feeling repressed, and it's really not okay. And I think I'm qualified to say this as a Middle Eastern woman myself, and I've felt this pressure before. So the designs are all very restrictive, which is kind of a satirical commentary on how they are repressed. So it's kind of a fuck you. But I was getting no recognition, and people were just becoming offended by it. So I realized I'm done with the fashion industry. I created a YouTube channel where I have begun commentating on all the problems of society, current music, current art, fashion, whatever, everything that's going on, social trends and behavior. And I hope to one day become a television personality, and I want to interview people. And I think my voice is the strongest thing I have to offer besides the short films that I made. And this film right here actually spun out from my YouTube channel, because before this I had created a series where I take clips of old films like Breakfast at Tiffany's, for example, and I replaced Harry Mancini's timeless soundtrack with something we would hear in a film today, like Ariana Grande, just to show how decadent our society has become and how aimless and we have no references anymore.